question is gonna be, when did you feel, you know what I'm saying, besides the demos, besides like say the ciphers, you know what I'm saying, when did you feel like, you know what I mean, I think I'm on, man. This is it. You know what I'm saying? This is professional music. FT is on.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I had a few moments like that. You know what I mean? Like when I first recorded in a Chung King studio. You know what I mean? That's when I first started. Now it's in Manhattan.
Oh, the one in Manhattan.
Yeah.
They had one in Queens too. That wasn't far from here actually. The where we're at right now.
Oh, snap! All right.
NYC area.
Yeah, yo, but I was with my man Aguilar. Shout out to Aguilar.
Hey,
you know what I
another
mean?
legend.
Yeah, he was
John Bishop.
Yeah, he was working on his first album. You know what I'm saying? And we lived in the same neighborhood around that time. You know what I mean? And I went to the studio. He took me to the studio.
He was on Electra?
Yeah.
Wow.
East West.
As Adolf, yeah.
As Adolf.
Ghetto girls.
We went to the studio one day. You know, I was just hanging out. You know what I'm saying? And then he was just like, "Yo, you got a hook for this?" Then I said a rhyme, but he was like, "Nah, that's not a hook. But yo, you want to spit that verse on this song?" So I'm like, "Hell yeah!" So when I did that, and it was like, you know, I never seen a studio like that with the big board and the
Chung King, that's
big huge speakers and plaques everywhere. So as a 16-year-old, you like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that was like the beginning. That was like a moment I felt like, yo, I'm getting somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But as far as like really feeling on, like, yeah, when I signed to Sony, when I worked with Stretch Armstrong, you know what I mean? He had a distribution deal through Sony, Epic Records.
Right? You on Records?
Nah.
This is before.
Yeah, this before that.
Oh, I didn't know about this. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was on an independent label. I started on an independent label.
You're not talking, is this True Criminal still? True Criminal?
Yeah.
So everything started with True Criminal.
Yep,
let them know.
With Godsons and okay.
Yeah.
Who's on True Criminal, by the way?
Oh.
You're the star artist, obviously.
Yeah, it was the Godsons and Ox Skills. Shout out. They all my brothers. I still rock with all of them to this day.
Brownsville, Ox Skills, Queens.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Brooklyn, Brownsville, Flatbush, all that.
Salute.
Yeah, so True Criminal was an independent label that I was on. You know what I'm saying? That's how y'all heard Problems, Metal Things. You know what I mean?
These two guys.
Yeah.
Grew and Skill. You know what I mean?
Grew and Skill.
The logo with the boot and it had the ball and chain.
Not just the boot. It was a Timberland boot
with the ball and chain.
Yeah.
With the ball and chain.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we brought y'all to the radio station back in '96. That's how I met them in person and all that.
Wow.
So that's how I met Grew and Skill at the same time. Because later on, Grew left.
Yeah, Grew left later around the New Line situation time.
And how'd you meet Grew and Skill from True Criminal?
Oh, yo, that's a dope story too. Rest in peace to my brother X1. You know what I mean? X1 from Onyx.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who's brother right now? Oof. Rest in peace.
Yo, we went to high school together, and we lived like right around the corner from each other.
Southside Jamaica, Queens, right here.
Yeah.
So are you originally from Queens too?
I'm originally from Brooklyn.
Right.
Okay. Then I moved to Queens. Then I moved back to Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? But
people don't know that.
I lived in Queens for like 13 years. You know what I'm saying? When I was 13, I moved to Queens.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Then I left Queens when I was 26. But during that time, that's when I had that run when I was rhyming and working with all these great artists.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Queens.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
See, that's the opposite because I grew up in Queens and then I moved to Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? So when I met you, I was living in Brooklyn when I met you actually, like in the 90s. Yeah, but keep going on.
Grew and Skill.
Yeah,
How you met these guys?
Yeah, so me and X1 lived around the corner from each other. We hung out all the time. We was like brothers and shit. Anyway, next thing you know, Grew and Skill, you know what I mean, wanted to sign X1. You feel me? But he was already had the Onyx situation.
Yeah, X1, nice,
you know what I'm saying?
man.
He was bubbling with that.
Look at these guys, y'all.
The worst.
The worst.
Yeah. He was bubbling with that. So
That
he called me one day. He was like, "Yo, bro, I got an opportunity for you." You know what I'm saying? He's like, "Yo, I got these people that want to sign me, but I'm already signed to Onyx." He was like, "I told him about you though."
He basically passed the torch.
Yeah, basically passed the torch. You know what I mean? I went to the office and met Skills at first. Skill and Grew, and they had an office in Times Square.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Imagine
Boom. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I met them, you know what I mean? And at first, what they was talking was cool, but I didn't want to be independent because I always felt like you're only going to hear my shit on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? At that time, like, I was just thinking straight major, like, nah.
Yeah.
But
now you was
then,
lucky if you even hear your joint on Saturday and Sunday. You know what I mean?
Exactly, bro.
Back then, you was happy if you heard it at 3, 4, 5,
Right,
6 in
I'm
the
like,
morning.
yeah,
you know, we have
yeah.
straight
Independent
about
artists now.
Yeah,
you know?
but back then, I was on some. I was just thinking really big, like, yo, I was a hungry young artist, just like, yo, I gotta be major, like, I'm dope, like, you feel me? So anyway, boom, I was kicking it with X1. He pushed me to sign it though. He was like, yo, bro.
So he convinced you?
Yeah, he convinced
Wow.
me.
Okay.
He convinced me. You know what I'm saying? And
So you sitting in that big or office, I should say, sitting in that office in Midtown Times Square, that didn't convince you?
Oh nah. I was just thinking.
Did they offer you an
Very major,
advance and
man.
all that
Right,
stuff?
right.
You know,
Oh yeah, all that. The whole like it wasn't. See, they was back then independent. They was a small independent.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the first advance wasn't crazy.
But at least it was an advance.
It was something.
they
It
still
was
had
for
something.
artists,
They
for
had
a young
something.
artist.
They had an offering. Yeah.
It was
For
a
artists
different time
starting out.
back then. So
Yeah.
I feel like even an independent deal that you had was kind of like similar to a major deal for an artist, you know what I'm saying, coming up, because there weren't a lot of
didn't have
advantages
anything.
back then. We
Right,
didn't have
yeah.
a lot of the advantages that artists have now.
Right.
So back then, I feel like, back then, a label like True Criminal was kind of like a Griselda back then.
Right.
Because they were making the same movements. Their records were being played on High 97. That the Metal Things I remember was on.
But they had an
Battle of the
office in
Beats.
Times Square, my G.
Hey, that
But
too.
yo, what did X1
So-
say to you that convinced you to sign with them?
Yo, basically, you know, I was working with some other people too. You know what I'm saying? And he was just saying, yo, basically, man, you just, you know, telling me, yo, you a star, man. He's
Right,
like,
right.
yo, you need to be heard. You feel me? And you need to
Heard now.
Yeah, you need to be heard now. And you know, do it, bro, do it. It's like don't not do it, do it. So I did it.
And that's
You know
how
what
we
I'm saying?
met. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ta-da.